It's time to go through that Aintree card. We've got 2 or 3 races to go through. Good morning, Catherine.
Morning, Peter.
Good morning. How are you this morning then?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks. A bit clearer.
Okay, lovely. All right, well, we're going to move on to the Betfred Mobile Sports Veterans Handicap Chase, the 2:30 at Aintree. And first of all, you wanted to speak, Catherine, about Jamesy Hall.
Yeah, Jamesy Hall. I thought he ran a blinder in the Munster National last time out. He's only beaten 3.5 lengths. That was over 3 miles. He's got an extra furlong to contend with here, which I think will stand him in good stead. Tongue-tied and cheek pieces on as normal. Keith Donohoe is a very good pilot. I know we've got to go back to I think it's something like the 1st of June 2012 when he last won in Tremor, but I'm not too bothered about that. He's from a very shrewd outfit. I'm not worried about. I mean, there's some sort of conflicting reports really as to the weather conditions up in Aintree. I'd heard that they'd had an awful lot of rain overnight and some stormy conditions yesterday, a bit like we've been experiencing here. I'm not worried about the good soft ground for him. He actually ran a very eye-catching race at Cheltenham last October on good to soft, only to return at the November meeting and actually fall. Horse, I like to keep the right side of Jamesy Hall. Like I've said, Gordon Elliott knows the time of day. It kind of catches my eye here, as does the other Irish raider, to be honest. James Nash is You're Busy. It's a horse that, again, I like to keep on the right side of, especially when he's at Galway. He goes particularly well there. He mixes hurdles and chasing. If there is a little bit of cut in the ground, it would sort of slightly put me off, even though he has run decent races in those conditions. He is essentially a good ground horse.
Catherine, I've noticed throughout the morning that Jamesy Hall has been drifting, especially from the Elliott yard. That's got to be a worry, hasn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. I know what you mean. I've been sitting here looking at it myself, but I'm not worried at this stage. Tom, what are you on?
Well, I quite like Categorical, actually, the bottom weight.
Rank outside of the lot.
Yeah, he has run well off high marks before. In April, actually, I know it's going back a while, April 2011, he actually split Prince de Beauchesne, the Howard Johnson horse, and ex-Howard Johnson, and Rev de Savola. That was actually over today's course and distance, and that was off a mark of 128. If he can recapture that form, he actually did win 3 runs back as well at Southall.
Yeah, I was there that day.
If he can recapture that form, I think he could be dangerous off the bottom weight at 10 stone. It is a veterans race. I think if Brian Hughes can switch him off and bring him through late, I think he could be dangerous. And I think he's currently about 12 to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the best prices there, Lee?
Yeah, he's 12 to 1 with various bookmakers. Jamesy Hall is currently 13 to 2 with Bet Victor standout price there.
Okay, that was 4 to 1 last night.
Yeah.
So 4 to 1 out to 13
It's been
to 2.
weak all morning.
I think, obviously, you've also got Categorical's probably going to be held up, and so will Pigeon Island. He's a horse that he needs to drop completely right for him.
Yeah.
I've noticed his first-time visor today, which is interesting. Again, it's very tricky. Fruity O'Rooney and Hey Big Spender are probably going to go on with the race. I couldn't have Hey Big Spender. He's 2 efforts here over fences. He's been pulled up and fallen. Question marks with his jumping. I know he can get them right, but more often than not, he doesn't.
Catherine, is there any other ones in there that worth a mention in that?
Yeah, I think Sanders just touched there on Fruity O'Rooney. I think he sort of caught everyone's eye last time out over an inadequate trip, and he was second in an extremely hot handicap at Cheltenham in January. He's previously run well at the Cheltenham Festival as well on 2 occasions. I think, doesn't Billy fancy Hey Big Spender?
I do, Catherine. I was going to say no disrespect to you or Sandy, but I don't think you're on the right ones here. I think Hey Big Spender will win this. You know, go back a couple of years, he was a really classy sort. He's off top weight. Just like myself, exactly. That's why I'm probably drawn to him, Tom. You're right there. No, he did have a great year last year. He hasn't gone well at Aintree before. I take that on board, but I think this phase I like to use, this could be his Gold Cup. He could win this.
Luke, what's your feeling on the race?
Fruity O'Rooney runs off his, with Josh Moore's claim of £3, he runs off his lowest handicap mark since 2011. And he's run some brilliant races at Cheltenham Festival, second to Katenko. But last night on our preview, we had George Gorman, who was from the Gary Moore stable, and he actually rode Fruity O'Rooney out yesterday morning, and he was very bullish on his chances today. And it's been strong in the market.
I mean, last night it was 3 to 130.
It's about the same prices at the moment.
Yeah.
There's 11 to 4 through with a few of them, but he's fairly steady at the moment. But like I say, Gary Moore's in really good form. He's got 2 top chances today, and it could be worth putting a double in there.
I'd personally be concerned. I know he's won off 11 stone 12 before, and I know he's about the lowest mark, but he's not the biggest of horses in heavy ground.
He's not the
11
biggest,
stone.
he's gutsy.
11 stone 8. He is gutsy, but I can't have him, especially not 3-1.
Okay.
I think I'm going to jump in there.
Yeah, go on,
Sandy,
jump in
right?
whenever
I
you
know,
want,
I
Tom.
know this isn't my forte, but you
Yeah.
know, you keep your ears open if you want. Triggerman. Right?
Triggerman.
Dickie Johnson rode the winner in this race last year. Triggerman was third in a Welsh National. Round Aintree on the chase course, it's not going to be easy, is it? So we know he's going to plug in, you know, he's a good, genuine horse. I think he'll get over the obstacles pretty well and be there at the end.
Well, it's interesting you say that, sorry Luke, it's interesting you say that he has been supported this morning. I think he was bigger prices last night. I think he's down to as short as 13-2, 6-1.
6-1.
Yeah, it's 6-1 at the moment.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I think Triggerman's going to have bigger days this season.
Okay.
He's not the best jumper.
Catherine, your selection?
I'll stick with Jamesy Hall, Pete.
Okay.
Fruitio Rooney.
Fruitio Rooney?
Hey, big spender.
Triggerman.
Categorical.
So, fantastic!
Just say Peter
Like
Knight.
it, Cameron.
Yeah, you have to go with
We
Peter
will
Knight.
get the winner. One of us will get the winner.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about dissect a
ununanimous
7-runner
vote.
film and pick out 6. I suppose it comes down to who you actually like as a pundit, I suppose.
Do you know what that is? That proves how tricky this race is.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
it is.
absolutely. And if the market is sort of 3-1 the field, it shows you how competitive.